stores than to make in your kitchen.
Yeah, most things.
Yeah, I would think so. So if you're a 35-year-old male that lives by himself, you might go, why would you make your own homemade bread? You can just go to the store and buy it. It's much easier. But I'm told it could save you hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, it really is easier to make than you think because we've got a great recipe for you. This one has no butter and you don't have to knead it. Like, who wants to sit there kneading bread?
Not me.
Not you. I can guarantee that. But here to show us how is Cooking for Dads. Rob Barrett is here with us today. Hi, Rob. Nice to see you. No kneading, no butter, huh?
Right. There are really, actually, but easier breads than this. But this one has the olive oil instead of butter, so it's really healthy.
Yeah.
I was
Frozen olive oil.
Frozen, right? Because I was making, trying to make an easy croissant bread with butter, and you kind of fold it in. And I thought, what if I freeze olive oil and use that instead? Because you still get the little pockets in the folds that the butter causes. And so I tried it, and actually, it's just really, really good. I'm excited about this.
This is the frozen olive oil.
That's it right there.
I've never frozen it before.
Yeah, here's what's really cool is that after you freeze it, if you put it in the refrigerator and let it melt, it actually stays in a gelatinous form, so you can use it like butter. I mean, it stays kind of like this, and you can spread it on stuff. I had it for breakfast this morning.
Wow.
It's a little bit different, but you know, it's New Year's, and so I'm trying to eat healthier.
Nice.
That's one of the year of discipline, 2011. That's what I'm calling it.
Welcome to my world.
Right. So year
when
of
your
discipline.
jeans are tight, it's time to take action. Yeah.
Right. And so this is, you know, so I put some olive oil on my toast. It's a little different, but you know, it's better than dry toast. Yeah. So, and
all right, let's go.
Let's make this bread. We're going to start with 1 cup of warm water.
We're starting to buy into the idea here. So
right. Pour that into the air.
Goes.
John, you're going to put in 1 spoonful of yeast.
Okay. You want that in there?
Pour that. Yeah. We're just going to make it all in one bowl. Pour 1 spoonful of this, and then I'm going to sprinkle over just a little sugar, just to make it up. Bacteria. Yeast is, of course, bacteria. Give that a stir.
Okay. Oh, I can do that.
Yeah, you can stir
that up. So we need to wake it up. It's sleeping in this form. We need to wake it up.
Wake up, yeast.
So that, yes, be activated.
Wow.
Wake up, buddy.
Do you have to yell at it like that, too?
Yes. Hello.
Hello. Yeast, it's after 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, okay.
Yeast is like a teenager during the summer.
Right, that's good, that's good, that's good.
Okay,
so
that's good.
normally we'd leave this for 5 minutes, let it get foamy. You need it to get foamy, it wakes up. Yeah. Because that's what's going to cause the bread to rise. We're going to skip that part for today. We're going to add 1/4 cup of warm milk. It can't be cold milk because our yeast just woke up. So if you pour like cold milk, they're like, oh, go back to sleep.
And let's be honest, our yeast had a late night lunch.
Right. And if it's hot milk, if it's too hot, they're like, we're dying. So you can't do that either. You're going to do
yeast is much more fascinating than I thought.
It really is. Yeah. Do you know how bread rises? You want to know?
Yeah.
Yeast eats the sugar and then it farts. It does. It's
Shame on you, yeast.
They say, excuse me.
Shame on you.
It causes little air bubbles. They excrete air in little air bubbles, and then when you bake it, that heats, and that makes it rise. That's probably too much information. I'm sorry. Okay. Pour that whole thing in. It's 3 1/4 cups of...
All right.
or one spoonful at a time.
1 spoonful at a time?
Yes, and then 1 spoonful of salt.
Salt, okay.
Just a spoon for this. Just put in a
right now,
of salt.
yeast thinks it had a big snowstorm.
Yes, yes.
All right.
Luckily, our yeast, no yeast were harmed in the making of this bread. I want to say that because they actually hadn't woken up. We're going to stir this together, and that is basically it.
And you don't have to knead this.
No, no. There are a couple other things you can optionally put in. Like, for instance, this is ethylated diglyceride.
I don't know what that is, and I don't want.
I can put some in, and you can try it.
What is that?
Well, it's what's found in most breads.
What does that even mean?
It's a diglyceride, not a monoglyceride, so you have that going for you.
So this
I love mine on French toast.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, what else?
This is the sodium stearyl lactate. I can put some of that in.
Oh my gosh.
No.
I love this stuff. My mom made this when I was a kid.
No.
So,
to die for.
So here's the, we don't know what this stuff is.
Yeah.
We would never put it in bread that we're making. So why do we buy it in bread that we're buying? You know?
And it is in, those two things are in almost
This is like nature's own 100% whole wheat, really healthy bread.
Really?
And it's got lots more stuff that you can't pronounce. I'm like, where's the diglyceride tree? If I can pick diglycerides, because I'm giving a news, I think as we all are.
We do.
And, you know,
trying to cut back on my ethyloxy, mono and diglyceride.
Right.
You probably shouldn't be eating it.
That's a great idea.
All right.
We're going to stir this up. While I'm doing that, why don't you get half of that out. So this is olive oil. We poured this into a shallow Tupperware.
Yeah.
Put it in the fridge.
Where do you want this? On this cutting board?
Just put it right on the cutting board, yep, and cut that into little squares.
Okay. Cutting.
So I'm stirring this like this.
This is really interesting, this frozen olive oil.
All you're going to do then is form this into a little ball. You don't need to knead it, but you need to form it into a ball.
Okay, are these squares small enough?
That is perfect.
All right, and then what happens?
Well
done. Thank you.
So what you're going to do is no knead bread takes a while, so you're going to cover this with a paper towel, set it aside, let it rise for like 4 hours. So do this in the morning, go to work.
Okay.
You come back, you're gonna get this is what it looks like.
Wowzers.
It's lots of yeast farts. Sorry, I gotta let that go.
Well, eat up, everybody.
I know. I
All
know.
right, so take that and just sprinkle that around on here.
Okay, take the olive oil.
Yep. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna
You want to spread it out a little bit.
I'm
we're
trying.
gonna kind of push it down.
Yeah.
Right? Push it down into the dough.
Okay. Pushing it in there.
Right, and then I'm gonna fold it over, just
Okay.
like this. Fold
Here, I'm
that
gonna put this back
over, and so you're creating these little olive oil pockets. Oh. Like that. So I'm gonna fold that over.
It's pretty clever.
I
Carol.
know. So then when this goes
Boom.
into the oven, I'm assuming that's all going to melt and kind of get dispersed.
Kind of actually mixes with the bread. It kind of there's some little pockets, but also mixes with the bread.
Did you try other oils too?
I tried coconut oil. Failure.
Failure.
Failure. Right.
Okay.
It's just like, is this a dessert or kind of like a non-dessert bread? Yuck. But it was worth trying.
1 for 2 ain't bad.
All right, so we're gonna set this aside for another half an hour. Let it rise.
Okay.
Do the other half. Let that rise again. Then we're gonna just put it on parchment paper. I'm just gonna grab it. This is gonna kind of leak.
Just grab
It
that
doesn't
one.
normally.
Yeah.
Just go wah, boom like that.
And then it's just in a ball, and you bake it like that.
I kind of just spread it out. You put it with a little egg wash.
Yeah.
We have some Parmesan cheese, some garlic.
Yeah, let's do that. And then you get sort of like a rustic loaf of bread that ends up looking like the one
Like
that
that,
we have
exactly.
on the front.
This was cut, of course, when it's super warm. You still let it cool before you cut it a little bit. But try some olive oil
that.
bread. Instead of butter, I would recommend dipping in a little pesto, which we
Love
brought.
that.
Give it a try. But this is
great.
This is a great way of giving up butter.
I brought you some of that.
Making some really tasty bread. I use this as a appetizer for a party.
Yeah, I
I'm
would
bringing an
say.
appetizer. I bring it with a little pesto, a little bread, cut it into smaller pieces. People just kind of take it and they go yum yum. And
I ate a big bite.
You know what? Yum, yum.
Yum, yum, it's right.
Yum, yum. That is really good.
I
Hey,
ate too much.
Yeast, you did a nice job.
Yeah.
There you are.
Oh my
Yeast is our friend. That's
That
all I
is-
can
Rob,
say.
I gotta tell you, that is delicious. That is so, so good. And
Incredibly
compared
creative.
to something like that,
Right. I mean, obviously
There's
this
no
is
comparison.
But and there's nothing in here you can't pronounce.
Yeah.
There's nothing. You know, we have such an autism and peanut allergies and wheat allergies. We have so many strange things going on
Yeah.
health-wise that we don't know what's causing it. But these things can't help.
yeah,
You know, nothing's wrong with salt, sugar, yeast, flour.
eat it.
So there you go.
That is good. Rob Barrett,
Thanks, Rob.
awesome work.
You
Thank you
bet.
so much.
Very
Rob
fun.
has some more tasty recipes and some very fun videos on his website. We have a link to that. And to find this recipe, go to KSTP.com, click on Twin Cities Live, and then click on the Eat tab. This is delish.
Yes,
Yeah, that is
absolutely.
good. All right, coming up, change your hair length and color without going to a salon. We're going to show you the best options in wigs, which is apparently